Good morning, distinguished guests, respected professional, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Motil Projectors Limited, it is my great pleasure to warmly welcome you to today's special webinar, Co-Creating the Faces of Project, Setting the Agenda for Impactful Conversation. My name is Hawa Bukar Komshi, and I'm honored to serve you as the moderator for today, our first outing. And this is one of the most important gathering that would record. We truly are delighted to have participants joining from across professional communities, institutions, industries, united by shared commitment to advancing project leadership, professional visibility, and knowledge preservation. Today marks the formal introduction of Faces of Projects, and initiative dedicated to documenting, celebrating, and preserving the stories, leadership journey, and lessons behind impactful projects and professionals who make them possible. This platform seeks to shift attention between projects themselves and towards the people whose leadership, decision, and resilience shape meaningful outcome. Thank you once again for joining us. We truly appreciate, especially for those that joined timely. Before we proceed, just a few quick housekeeping reminder. Kindly ensure that you keep your microphones muted throughout the sessions. Also, you may use the chat box to share your reflections and questions. Also, questions for the speakers can be dropped in the chat box, or you can raise your hands, and those questions can be addressed during the interactive sessions. Also, to notify you, this webinar is being recorded. We encourage everyone to stay engaged and also participate actively. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. So before we proceed, it is my distinct honor to specially recognize the presence of the highly respected leader and distinguished figure in the project management profession. We are privileged today to be joined by the chairman and also the president of the Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria, Chief Olabode Afolayan. Please, can we give a round of applause for having him in our midst? Sir, your presence at this inaugural gathering is both an honor and also a powerful affirmation of the importance of professional leadership, institutional excellence, and the future of project management in Nigeria. Your contribution to strengthening project management practice and advancing professional standard continue to inspire many across this country and beyond. And also in recognition for your distinguished leadership, we are deeply honored to invite you to formally declare this webinar open and also share your goodwill remarks. So to you, Chief Olabode, the floor is respectfully yours, sir. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank God for this great opportunity and honor. And I want to thank each and every one of us for being part of what today is seen as one of the most important things to do for this country. By the special grace of God, I'm believing God that our efforts, our contributions, we highly recognized, and I can assure you that we'll be part of the success stories of project management in Nigeria. God bless you all. I wish you the very best, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief, for those inspiring and also graciously opening remark. We're truly honored by your presence and also grateful for your words of encouragement and support. And also thank you for joining us timely. Your leadership continues to set an important standard for excellence, accountability, and professionalism in your field. So thank you so much. At this point, it is my pleasure to introduce the visionary founders the visionary founders behind the Faces of Project Initiative. This platform was founded by the distinguished professionals committed to ensuring that the project's leadership stories are documented, shared, and preserved for future generations. Please join me in recognizing Dr. Adebowale Lucas, Dr. Oyetunji Adewale Bashir, Dr. Blessing Oshoke. These remarkable founders have envisioned a platform that addressed a critical gap. You must all agree with me. The absence of structured visibility and also institutional memory around the individuals behind success stories. I now invite the founders to share the inspiration behind this initiative, the purpose of its creation, and its long-term vision, so that we could be able to understand what they envision and why we are gathered today here. So over to you, founders. Thank you. Please, can we give them a big round of applause as they come forward? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miss Awa. We are so grateful, and I would like to also say thank you to the the chairman, president of Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria. We are so grateful for your presence here today. It means a lot to the project at large. And once again, my name is Adebowale Lucas Akomalafe, and I am the co-founder of Faces of Projects by Motil, and I'm also the MD of Motil Projectors Limited, the project management consultancy company. And we are three, and I would also like to recognize the other co-founders, which they will join me during the course of this short presentation, that we think that it is necessary, because we wouldn't want to just talk and have this whole session not well organized. So, like I said, I welcome you once again, everyone. And today's edition is just to come together to co-create this wonderful project, this initiative. And I believe that when we look at Nigeria's landscape, we see massive transformative projects rising up. But, you agree with me that, projects don't build themselves. And we people do, right? So, and yet the brilliant minds and the brutal lessons behind our nation's most impactful executions, it's just vanished. It's vanished the moment the ribbon is cut. So, and we founders of Faces of Projects, we believe that this has to stop today. And that is why we are bringing Faces of Projects to your presence, and to also make you understand that Faces of Projects is a high-level initiative designed to do three things. We are documenting the true leaders, we are preserving the critical execution data, and we're building an unbreakable legacies. So, but we are here, like I said, to co-create this definitive narrative of Nigeria project execution. And why we are going to do that, we are doing it in four core pillars, which is true visibility, knowledge, leadership, and innovation. So the reality behind all of these, because I know one question that keeps popping out of our mind is, okay, why are we here? Why is this initiative existing, and why does this? Why this initiative exists? That's the most questions that people will definitely, have in their mind. So, and that is why we we want you to just, let's look at the reality of how we view projects right now. So, one hand, you have the visible. This is what everyone sees, which is the flashy structures, the massive budgets, the PR-friendly outcomes. It's what gets celebrated in the news. That's what we see every day. That's what when we go around, we see on billboards and in news and all of that. But you agree with me as project professionals. We know that all those things are facet, and the real substance is the invisible one, which is the other side, which is the critical decision made under pressure, the catastrophic failures that were narrowly averted, the strategic pivots, the hard-won lessons. That is where the real value lies, and we need to right now that value is hidden, and we need to just bring that into life. So this initiative exists to bring the invisible into the light. And I believe that you all agree with me that this is necessary as professionals delivering projects, and handling business and entrepreneurs, industry leaders. We believe that these are the things that we need to talk about. These are the things that we need to start learning from. And this actually brings us to the core problems that we actually facing right now, and we think that it's really bleeding edge of the issue. So and like I said, Nigeria is suffering from a massive continuous drain of institutional knowledge. You can agree with me. And because project experience are treated as transactional rather than strategic assets, we see that in every day, in all project execution, and we are losing our execution history. So this manifests in three devastating ways. Knowledge drain. You can agree with me that hard-won execution lessons, they evaporate the moment a project team disbands. So there is zero archive. There is meaning there is zero transfer of knowledge. So this also boils down to another devastating way, which means that repeated mistakes, no lesson learned, because we don't document the failures. The next project team starts, from absolute scratch and meticulously repeating the same mistake, costly mistakes, costly errors, and it's an expensive one, endless cycle, and it keeps going on and on and on. All of these things we need to start documenting, and we need to start transferring knowledge to avert all these mistakes. And the third one, like it's stated in the slide, the invisible excellence, which is the outstanding project professionals, the ones actually moving this country forward. They remain unrecognized. We are depriving the next generation of the mentors they desperately need to succeed. So we are just losing data. We are losing our future capability. So all of these things has to stop, and we need to start documenting, and we need to start transferring knowledge, so the new generation of professionals can also start learning and can also get real data of the projects they see all around them. So like I said, I just want to introduce the whole, not the whole, but the iceberg of what this initiative is all about. And right now, I think I will just leave the floor for my co-founder to take it from here and also introduce himself. Dr. Adewale Bashir, please, you have the floor. Please kindly introduce yourself and let's move on. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for giving us at least something to take home. And I think I'm very, very happy that at least this came to what we are having today. And that's us, trying to, educate our community on what exactly we're about doing. And this has actually been well thought about. Well, let me start by introducing myself. I'm Dr. Yetunji Adewale Bashir. I'm a co-founder of Faces of Projects, and also act as the Executive Director of Multi Projectors Limited. So we are very pleased to have everyone on board. Your you joining this particular session is very, very essential to us because that shows that you've put in yourself to actually understand what we are about. So let me continue from where my co-founder stopped. So what phases of project represents? So, he has already spoken to us the reason why the phases of project needs to come to life, because most times records are lost because we only see structures or infrastructures without understanding the stories behind it and the people that actually deliver these projects. So, as you can see on the slide, a multi-channel media initiative focused on leadership, execution, and impact. Why leadership is very, very important is because leadership helps shapes the mind of the next generation. And the next generation needs to learn how mentorship works, because once you mirror yourself around successful leaders, it's easy for it to actually snowball into the society. Hence, it can actually help us to achieve our sustained desire to actually have a successful project delivery. And the initiative is looking at four different, interface. That's we're definitely going to be looking at the podcast. The podcast is where we have authentic conversations with these project leaders and what really happened at the background, because most times we see project being completed, but nobody understands how that project was being done. Like, we definitely going to learn about the risks that was involved, the change that happened, and just to mention a few, like, how do you engage your stakeholders? How do you communicate with your stakeholders? All those things can actually be gotten by interfacing with these our project leaders for them to share. And when they do that, we definitely have a means of having this participatory approach to getting raw information from them, as it was early stated when I introduced ourselves at the beginning of when we were all joining this particular platform. Then we have the documentationary platform. This is a long form storytelling spotlighting Nigeria's most important projects and the minds behind them. So after when we must have gotten series of projects leaders coming on our podcast, we're definitely going to document these different podcasts, leading to archiving of different documentary specialization areas. And when we document this, it's easy for us to refer to it in terms of during our research, or also for us to learn our lessons from them. Then we have our webinar series, which we've already started today. And that's why we think that when we conversate amongst ourselves, we critically review things, we talk about challenges, changing trends in terms of the professional fields. And if we can all recall, project management cut across specialization. It's not just one glove, but the glove that fits almost everything we do, because we understand projects starts and ends after when you must have conceived an idea. So we have the webinar series that will be able to look at us having a live conversation. This can be done through our YouTube channel, our Twitter channels, our Instagram live, and all that, just to have the real time interest in this particular engagement in terms of growing this initiative. Then the interactive section, as I said from the beginning, for interactive section of project execution. As we can recall, at my early engagement, when I sent a video, I was talking about how we can all participate. And from the first initiation of the podcast with our project leaders, some of us can actually be chosen to analyze, to critically review what we've learned from those stories that was told by those project leaders, and can actually help us to have a kind of white paper or recommendations that can actually be shared to government and also for other leaders to learn from. Then we have our media archive. So the media archive serve more like a research-based archive where you can actually get all this information from and can, increase our executive intelligence as we move along. So the next slide, please. So why this matter for Nigeria? We understand that Nigeria is in a peculiar space. Right now, we are the most populous Black nation in the world, the most promising country in the world. And why are we still promising when we can actually be what we are meant to be? So we have the national growth that will depend not just on project delivered, but on the quality of leadership. So once we have our podcast ongoing, where we see real-time leadership successes when it comes to project delivery, it's easy for people to be carried along. It's easy for professionals to be carried along. It's easy for practitioners to be carried along. And also for the students emerging to become successful project managers. Then we have governance and also lesson transferred. So as we understand, the quality of leadership depends on the amount of success that they have achieved. And this can actually be seen through our podcast. And so it's going to help us have to create this system that captures and spread proven leadership models in terms of project delivery. Then we have the governance intelligence. So under the governance intelligence, we are meant to see projects that shapes infrastructures or policies and lives. And these particular stories can help us in terms of documenting on how we governed our spaces and how we can actually do better. Because by the time we learn from the experiences of our project leaders, in terms of the challenges that they face or the risks that they averted and how they were able to overcome, and we see this very successful infrastructure or even services that was provided, it's easy for us to actually say we want to replicate it amongst ourselves. Then we have the lesson transfer. Because of the ability for us to have a very critical review sessions, it's easy for us to have our lesson notes or our lesson learned documentations that can be used for other references procedures, and that could help our emerging students coming from the tertiary institutions on the new people that want to become project managers. Remember, this particular initiative is for us to amplify the practice in Nigeria. So the next slide, please. So what we usually see, we see visibility gaps. Then what is being celebrated from what is lost. Before now, what we've identified that usually projects are being seen at the conclusive end when ribbons are being cut in terms of celebrations by our political leaders or head of our organizations, without really understanding that yes, there was a project manager who held this project together. So we lost the ability, the processes, the procedures, the structural organization of that particular project that we are seeing that we are cutting the ribbon. So basically what Faces of Projects is going to be doing is to help showcase these abilities of project managers. That means that we are trying to make sure that our project managers are more celebrated and more seen as the technical, support that have made sure that a project came to reality. And we get the project completion dates always being talked about. Yes, when did this project complete? But what happened during that project? What decision was very difficult for you to take? What decision do you take under pressure? Why do project take a lot of time? So we need to understand all this. Then we have the budget figure being always talked about and all that. So let me just run through. So we have budget figure as what is being celebrated. We have government press releases where people come out and say, yes, this is what we've achieved. Or we have infrastructural milestone. We set a milestone and we want to see how we can achieve that. But what is lost without us not knowing, or what is meant to be seen technically, is our projects are being held together by a project manager, and the decision made under pressure, or the failures that shaped the outcomes that we see, and the lessons that could serve for the next term. So the lesson learned is very, very important, and also the human stories behind every structure. So the next slide, please. So what we aim to build, this is very simple. I'm just going to make it very short and simple because my co-founder needs to continue. So what is the aim for us to build is for us to build this trusted platform across 4 strategic dimensions. That's the storytelling dimension that deals with authentic, in-depth narrative from professionals who shaped Nigeria's most significant projects. Then we have the leadership recognition. In as much that you have been able to deliver a project successfully, we need to celebrate you, and we need to let you be seen and heard. And this platform will definitely bring about project excellence in the name that is meant to be celebrated, and how you are meant to be preserved moving forward through our documentation. Then we have the professional lesson. So it's an additional insight drawn from real execution experience, not just textbook theory. So we are using the practicability approach to actually speak about project delivery. That means that you are meant to see it by performance, not by what you read in your textbook. Then we have the knowledge exchange. So cross-industry dialogue that break silos rather, and build connected communities of practitioners. So with this particular initiative, we can see how we can exchange ideas, we can see what we can learn from each other, and how this can help us to have successful project moving forward. So I hand over to my co-founder. Dr. Blessing Oshoke, please, you can continue from here. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this platform. It's maiden edition, and it's a privilege to have everybody here for sparing out your time this Saturday morning to join us. We really do not take it for granted. Thank you very, very much. We're really grateful. So my name is Inenimo Blessing Oshoke, and also a co-founder of Faces of Project. Sorry, I don't know. Can you hear me? It feels like nobody's hearing me. Can you hear me, please? Okay.
You're very
so
Yes,
okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. So at Faces of Project, we have 4 strategic objectives. One is to document project leadership stories. This will be creating a living archives of first person's accounts from project leaders across Nigeria's key sectors. 2, we intend to create industry conversation by building a regular forum through podcasts, webinars, and events that will keep professionals engaged and learning. And 3, to inspire future leaders. We intend to give the next generation of project managers, engineers, and executive real role models, not the one they see in book, real ones who look like them and build what they can see. And number 4, that's part of our objective, preserve executive lessons. At Faces of Projects, we will transform knowledge into structured, reusable institutional wisdom that can outlast any individual project. So Faces of Project is not a motivational brand. It is an industry knowledge and leadership archive. While motivational brand Inspire, at Faces of Projects, we document, we archive, and replicate. While others celebrate the structure, we celebrate the architect of execution. While others, while they inspire, inspiration fades with time, our archive compounds in value. So so at this point, we actually will call for collaboration. We'll invite professionals, institution, media partners, and project leaders to contribute their stories, insights, and experiences through partnership and sponsorship. Thank you very much. MD, have the floor.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Shoke. Thank you, Dr. Bash. So good to co-found this initiative with you guys. And I want to say we also have the real founders, which are the audience listening to this podcast. Listening to this webinar right now. So we want to appreciate, your presence. And just like we've all said, it's the right time for us to co-create this initiative. I mean, we are all professionals. We are all, business leaders, industry leaders, entrepreneurial creators in one way or the other. We have where we deliver projects, where we lead business. So we believe that it's high time we stop, celebrating the project outcome or the business outcome. Rather, we celebrate the brains, the minds behind those outcomes, because a lot of work has been put into those outcomes. And that is why we also see that, if Nigeria must grow sustainably, we must learn from the people behind the projects shaping the nation. So we are all about documenting project success, and at the same time, project challenges. We are also celebrating, the outcomes. And while we are not just celebrating the outcome, we are also transferring every knowledge that comes with that outcomes. And this knowledge, we believe that it can also make our nation and Nigeria grow. So thank you. I appreciate you once again. And I would like the moderator to take it from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please, can we virtually clap for our founders to celebrate them for this wonderful initiative? And I hope each and every one of us has understood what they want to achieve with that, and also what is expected of us as participants. Once again, thank you so much, founders, for sharing the vision and purpose behind this remarkable initiative. As we've heard, Faces of Project is more than a media platform. It's actually a professional knowledge archive. It is built around 4 strategic pillars, as mentioned: storytelling, professional learning, leadership recognition, knowledge exchange. So overall, its purpose is to ensure that valuable project experience are not lost, but transferred, celebrated, and used to inspire future professionals. And during the course of our subsequent engagement, we would actually have some of you guys that join to be our subsequent guest. And before the webinar even ends, we would drop the link to join our WhatsApp platform, so that you'll be able to see what we have coming up. And also, if you have good knowledge of project management, would actually utilize your intellect. So thank you once again, our founder. Moving on, it is now a privilege to introduce our keynote speaker for today. We are honored to welcome architect Shomomi Williams, who will be speaking around co-creating the Faces of Project, setting the agenda for impactful conversation. Today's keynote will explore critical themes, including leadership realities behind successful projects, stakeholder and execution challenges, visibility gaps in project leadership, ethical responsibility in professional practice, industry transformation through storytelling and mentorship. Please join me in warmly welcoming architect Shomomi Williams. Sir, the floor is yours, and thank you so much for availing yourself to be with us. Thank you. Please, can we give him a big round of applause? Thank you. Are you with us, please, sir?
Okay, thank you, my moderator. Hope everybody can hear me.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Firstly, let me appreciate Multi Projectors Limited for this very great initiative. I think it's really timely. Without further ado, let's go straight to the slide because of our time. Okay, next slide. Basically, there are 8 outlines for this presentation. Firstly, we shall be looking at the introduction. Secondly, suggested discussion areas. Number 3, the evolving role of project leadership in delivering meaningful outcomes. Then 4, key project challenges and opportunities across industry. 5, the importance of stakeholders' engagement, innovation, and adaptive leadership. 6, building communities of practice that foster knowledge exchange and real-world impact. 7, call to action. And lastly, conclusion. So this will be the outline for my presentation today. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide.
That the job get INC get constitution.
It's going to put it, and we can, yeah.
That you rule the people. You are under INC.
So we'll try to reshare. I think the person sharing the slide actually has difficulty hearing. We'll definitely switch. Yes, we are switching the hosts. So the next person could share the slide.
Guys, someone should make me host, please.
So We are trying to get that done. We had difficulty with the network. Yeah. So I think the slide will be on in any minutes. Yes. Okay. So it's back up. Sorry about that. These are the issues that we need to prepare for. Architect, show me. Can you see your slide now, please? Hello. Can you hear me, Architect?
Hello.
Confirm if you can hear me, Architect.
We can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So the theme is setting agenda for impactful conversation. And this theme reflects our intention to build a platform where project professionals, the industry leaders, the academics, and emerging practitioners, they can all come together to discuss issues that really matter in project delivery and national development. The purpose of Faces of Project is more than a webinar series. It's a growing knowledge-sharing community focused on spotlighting the people, ideas, system, and innovations behind successful projects. Too often, conversations around projects focus solely on technical delivery, which is timelines, budget, scope. You are bothered about this. While these are important, projects are ultimately about transformation, leadership, stakeholders, governance, and value creation. Today's session is going to be very interactive. I'm encouraging everybody to participate actively through chat polls and the question and answer segment. Your ideas and perspective will help shape future phases of project conversation. Next slide. My suggested focus areas for conversation, although not exhaustive, are as follows. 1, what conversations are missing in project spaces? What are the critical project issues requiring urgent attention in project management practice in Nigeria? Cross-sector collaboration and innovation, leadership, governance, sustainability, and accountability, the changing landscape of project delivery, then from technical execution to strategic impact, human-centered project leadership, then public sector capital projects management challenges.
Let me bring on a picture.
The challenges there include value for money, lack of transparency, and corruption. Then finally, we're looking at infrastructural issues in power and energy access, housing deficit, flooding and climate resilience, food security, youth employment and skills, healthcare infrastructure and access, transportation and urban mobility. Like I said earlier, the list is not exhaustive. So we'll engage you and we expect that you add to this list. I have these headlines there, and I feel these headlines should be something we need to talk on because it's really topical. Headline 1 on the Guardian newspaper, it reads, IMF exposes Nigeria's budgeting gaps as execution crisis deepen. This is a food for thought for project managers. The next headline there from the cable newspaper, court sentences ex-power minister to 75 years in prison for 33.8 billion fraud. My slide is off. Can it be displayed back? Moderator?
Yes, sir. We're having a bit of a technical issue,
Okay.
but I would advise that you continue and then we will fix that. Thank you.
Okay.
Mary.
So the third display there, it says NDDC, that's Niger Delta Development Commission, unable to account for 90.9 billion in 10 years. That's approximately 9 billion per year. The one on the topmost right says Nigeria spent $25 billion on refineries. Nothing works. No one jailed. And lastly, below that, it's another headline which says Senate to probe 10,000 abandoned projects. In it all, these 5 headlines, they are pointing to something. And it's pointing to ethical leadership in project management in the public sector. I think this should be food for thought and should be something we need to discuss as practitioners in the industry. How do we solve this challenge? We can't continue like this. As project managers, we need to chart a new course to see how this corruption in the public sector can be reduced, if not eliminated. My next slide is on the evolving role of project leadership in delivering meaningful outcomes. The role of project leadership is no longer confined to managing schedules, budgets, and deliverables. It has become a multidimensional discipline focused on translating strategy into impact, navigating complexity, aligning stakeholders, and ensuring that projects create lasting value. In an era where organizations are judged less by what they bid and more by the outcomes they create, project leaders are becoming architects of transformation, not just managers of execution. A project may end, but its outcome define its true success. Project leaders, they look at how they take project from output delivery to outcome realization. They look at strategic alignment with organization goals. They focus on stakeholder-centric leadership. They adapt adaptive leadership strategy in uncertain environments. They make use of data and digital fluency for decision making. Leadership as value creation, not tax supervision. Then sustainability and ESG integration into projects is really important. And accountability for long-term impact. Generally, the project landscape across industries is becoming more complex, but also more opportunity-rich. Success increasingly depends on leaders who can manage uncertainty, who can align stakeholders, who can integrate technology, and who can focus on long-term value creation rather than short-term delivery metrics. The next slide. Industries that adapt quickly to these realities will not only deliver projects more efficiently, but will also create stronger competitive advantage and broader societal impact. Next slide. At this juncture, we shall be looking at key project challenges and opportunities across industries. For this presentation, I've considered 8 industries. Like I said earlier, the list is not exhaustive, but we shall be looking at each industry, look at challenges there and the opportunities for us as project managers, which we can take advantage. Number 1, infrastructure and construction. Challenges are basically cost overrun, budget volatility, delays, poor scope, safety management, the limited adoption of digital tools like BIM, drones, project analytics. Opportunities in the industry include smart cities and urban regeneration projects, green buildings and sustainable infrastructure, public-private partnerships, adoption of digital construction technologies, including BIM and digital twins. In Nigeria, the infrastructure gap creates enormous opportunities in roads, housing, transport, and utilities. The second industry is the oil, gas, and energy. Challenges are regulatory uncertainty and policy changes. It's highly capital intensive. Community relations and social license issues, security concerns and supply chain disruption, environmental and ESG compliance pressure. Opportunities for us in that industry are renewable energy transition projects, solar, wind, and mini grid expansion, gas commercialization and domestic energy infrastructure, then energy efficiency and decarbonization programs. I'm sure that all of us will agree with me that power supply in the country has gone down in the last few months, and that's creating a lot of opportunities in that industry. Traditional energy players are increasingly balancing assets with clean energy. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. 3. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. Technology and digital transformation. Challenges that we have rapidly changing technology landscape, cybersecurity issues, then talent shortages in AI, cloud, and cybersecurity. Opportunities there include AI-driven business transformation, cloud migration, automation and workflow optimization, data analytics, and digital customer experience improvement. Organizations, they now see technology projects as business transformation initiatives rather than purely IT deployments. The fourth industry is the healthcare and life sciences. Challenges include complex stakeholder ecosystems, which includes patients, regulators, providers, and insurance, then strict regulatory compliance requirements, technology integration challenges, public health emergency preparedness. Opportunities are telemedicine, digital health platform, health data systems and interoperability, then pharmaceutical research and development, as well as clinical innovation. Next slide. Real estate and property development. Challenges there are financing constraints and interest rate risk, the market absorption uncertainty, regulatory approvals and zoning issues, construction cost escalation, demand forecasting inaccuracies. Opportunities are affordable and green housing delivery, students housing, mixed-use development, smart buildings and PropTech integration, facility management optimization. Then for the sixth industry, the sector, we have the public sector and government project. And these are the challenges. We have bureaucratic procurement system, political interference or leadership changes, then weak accountability mechanism, funding discontinuity, low project governance maturity. Opportunities are e-governance transformation, national infrastructure programs, social impact projects in education, health, transport, and capacity building in project governance. The next slide. Manufacturing and supply chain. Challenges are supply chain disruption, global trade uncertainties, inventory inefficiencies, quality assurance challenges. Opportunities are automation and industry, supply chain digitization, regional manufacturing expansion. Then the last industry, which is financial services and fintech, challenges are regulatory compliance and data privacy, fraud and cybersecurity risk, legacy systems integration, fast-changing competitive landscape. Opportunities there are digital banking transformation, financial inclusion initiatives, payment innovations, blockchain, and digital identity projects. Next slide. Generally, across these 8 sectors or industries, the common challenges are, one, regardless of the sector, most projects, they face common issues, which include poor stakeholders alignment, inadequate risk management, weak governance framework, resource shortages, unrealistic timelines, change resistance, benefits realization gaps. And the common opportunities are: one, we have sustainability and ESG integration, AI and automation adoption, agile and hybrid delivery methods, portfolio optimization, data-driven decision-making, cross-sector partnership. So these are things or areas which, as project managers, we can come together, we can collaborate and see how we can solve these challenges, which is across various industries, and take advantage of the inherent opportunities in these industries. Next slide. The importance of stakeholders' engagement, innovation, and adaptive leadership. In today's rapidly evolving project management environment, technical execution alone is no longer sufficient to guarantee project success. Increasing project complexity, uncertainty, and stakeholders' expectations require project leaders to combine three critical capabilities, which are: one, stakeholders' engagement; two, innovation; and three, adaptive leadership. Together, these competencies, they help organizations move beyond simply completing projects to delivering sustainable and meaningful outcome. Next slide. The interconnection between these three concepts are as follows. Stakeholders' engagement provides the insights into needs, risks, and expectations. Innovation generates better ways to address those needs and challenges. And lastly, adaptive leadership enables teams to navigate uncertainty while implementing solutions effectively. A project leader who has mastered all these three is better positioned to deliver outcomes that are not only successful in execution, but also valuable in impact. Next slide. In a world where projects are increasingly complex and interconnected, success depends less on rigid controls and more on leadership agility. Stakeholders' engagement ensures alignment and trust. Innovation drives relevance and efficiency. Adaptive leadership enables resilience and responsiveness. Together, these capabilities transform project leaders from delivery managers into enablers of sustainable impact and organizational transformation. Next slide. Building communities of practice that foster knowledge exchange and real-world impact. Communities of practice are increasingly becoming strategic platforms for professional learning, collaboration, innovation, and industry transformation. A community of practice refers to a group of people who share a common profession, discipline, or passion and interact regularly to improve their knowledge, skills, and practice. And it's built around three core elements. We have a domain, number one, which is a shared area of interest or expertise. Then two, a community, which refers to a network of individuals who engage regularly through discussions, events, collaborations, and peer support. And lastly, practice, which is a body of shared knowledge, of shared tools, framework, lessons learned, case studies, and methodologies. Next slide. Call to action. The value of this platform will depend on community consistency. I want to encourage all participants in today's program to stay connected by following Faces of Projects on all social platforms. Two, joining future conversations, because in future, you will be speaking to us. Today, I'm the one speaking, but in future, you will be speaking to us. You'll be telling us stories about your leadership experience and other things. You also need to engage with content as well as sharing ideas as students, interns, practitioners. You will be nominating speakers, recommending topics for discussions, and collaborating on projects, among other things. I want to say this, we are not just building conversations. We are building a generational platform for professional impact. Next slide. Today, we have started a conversation. The real impact begins with what you, I say you, what you do after this session. Next slide. Thank you very much. Over to you, moderator. Thank you, multi-projectors, for the opportunity to deliver this paper. Thank you once again. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you so much, sir. Please, can we give him a big round of applause? Thank you so much for gracing us with your wisdom. Thank you for the insightful and thought-provoking presentation, rather. Thank you. We will now move into the interactive segment. As you can see, the last slide is question and answer segment. And in our agenda, we have a session where we interact with the participant on board, where you ask questions, ask for clarity, how we need you to be involved, and also any you can share your 2 cents with us. So participants are encouraged to indicate their hand for questions or share questions through the chat box, and would have our architect to respond to the question, and also the founders. Just tell us who you're directing your questions to, and then we begin with that. Thank you so much. So are there any hands or questions? We have 35 members joined, so I'm expecting a lot of questions to be asked or dropped in the chat. Or we don't understand what's still going on in on the platform. Are we together? Sorry, Dr. Lucas, from your end, you could help me check if there are any hands. Maybe I'm not seeing from my end.
Okay, nothing yet.
Okay. For those giving a thumbs up, is that them raising a hand? This segment is really important for us because we need to hear from you, or and also know what's your takeaway from this session, and also we would like to know your expectations from us, and if you want to share any innovations that you think we should infuse into phases of projects, would really like to hear that from you guys. Or should I start calling names?
Okay. All right. Okay. The moderator, thank you very much. Let me just pick it up from here. And I believe that one of the reasons why we are here, and one of the reasons why we have everybody here, is to also call them for collaboration. We, like I said earlier, we are all project managers in our, respective fields, and we deliver projects, we lead business, we lead tasks, we deliver, short or long-term tasks, and all of that. Those are forms of projects. So this platform is not only for project managers, but for all industry leaders or workers trying to make impact and trying to develop our nation. So we can all understand that you also can come to us, and maybe you're trying to spotlight your work, or trying to share your story, or trying to make impacts, and let the new generation learn from the success stories or the challenges during the course of your project delivery, or any business execution, or any task execution. So it would be so good if you can show interest, and also like we said, follow us on all social media, and also, give your respectful feedbacks on things that you notice, things that you want to contribute, and how you think that you can also, make impact and also be part of this wonderful initiative. And like Architect Showumi said, today we are the ones speaking to you, but tomorrow you are the ones speaking to the whole Nigeria and Africa as a whole, because this is just a rollout webinar, and we are trying to bring this initiative to you and to also let you understand what this initiative is all about. So thank you very much. And I can see some things, on the chat box, in the chat box. So thank you. And I would like to just maybe give the floor to anybody that wants to pick it up from here. You can unmute yourself. You can put your hands up or whatever. Sorry, you can raise your hands up, whatever you feel comfortable. Please, just the floor is yours. The floor is, everybody's. And this is the section that we call interactive section. So we can all talk, share insight, give feedbacks. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much, MD. Just reading through the chat session, I'm seeing some, I don't think, moderator, can you just read it out so maybe we can have a conversation around what is being said on the chat box?
Sure. Yes, I've seen at least 2 people have dropped, just commending, I think, the session entirely. Okay, the first person said this session was apt and highly educative. It has expanded my understanding on project management significantly. Besides, it's a great collaborative platform. And Makinde said the challenges are as regard to slide 4. What practical steps can project team take to close? Okay, I think, is this a question? Like, what are practical steps can project team take to close execution gaps that often lead to delays and rework? I don't know if you get that. And this question, I think it's directed to architect.
Yes, Architect Showumi will definitely respond to this. And maybe Dr. Bash will respond to the first one, but I think nothing to really respond to. But Architect Showumi, you have the floor.
Okay, sorry, I want to get the question right. So,
okay, he said, what practical steps can project team take to close execution gaps that often lead to delay and rework?
okay, let me start with this. Execution gap is basically as a result of poor project risk analysis. Because if a thorough risk analysis had been done at the onset of the project and you have a risk management plan, and things that can affect your project scope, time, cost will have been identified, then the appropriate response too would have been identified and estimated. So, but let me just provide the solution. Whenever there is an execution gap, which has led to delay and rework, the first thing I would advise is that, number one, you carry out an audit. The purpose of the audit is to know the causes of the delay, the causes of the rework. Now, once you identify the cause, the next thing is to prefer solutions. In preferring solutions, there might be many options. For each solution, you need to analyze the cost. So if you have
Okay. Can you hear me? I think we lost the architect. Show me for a moment.
So that said, I think it's very good. It's going to be much like that, where we actually try to critically review situations, trending topics on project delivery. I can see from Architect Showmi's presentation slide, he identified 8 different specialized areas where topics can actually be drawn from. And as project managers, we know there's no end to the means of project management application, because as it is, project management is more like an application tool that helps us to make sure that what we've identified that we want to deliver must to be seen to the conclusive end. So it's from the beginning to the end stage of any form of program, portfolios, or even events. So project delivery is not one thing, it's multiple of things. It tells you that you need to ask the right questions, you need to engage the right people, you have to do your research. You just don't jump into the field that you want to deliver, but you must make sure that you do your project charter where you have everything already laid down before you initiate that project. So I think I saw a question on the chat box. What skills are needed in project management? Yeah. So the skill that is needed in project management is very, very simple. You have to be analytical in mind. You need to understand that there is no one way that fits all. You need to understand how to, you know, perceive risks, for example, or changes that happens during project delivery. You need to know how to speak to people in terms of stakeholder engagement. You need to know how to communicate your performance. How do you actually structure your work plan, your administrative or organizational structure, in terms of you having a sustainable way to deliver a project or two? And another thing, another skills you need in project management, feedback. You need to understand that feedbacks are very, very important, because it will help you to project, or for you to be able to, mitigate any form of risks that could occur in the future. So before something becomes a risk, you must have identified an issue. So that issue is meant to be treated as immediately as you're seeing it or you're identifying it. Then you don't allow it to jump into a risk and at the end of the day affecting your project delivery. So in this particular community, apart from the fact that we are doing our podcast where we see project leaders and we speak to them, and we also try to do knowledge transfer. As the MD have said, Mr. He also spoke about the need for us to be interactive in nature in terms of asking the right questions and looking for the right solutions. It's not just for us to be sitting ducks, but to be a performing duck, because at the end of the day, this is what we call capacity development. You're definitely going to build yourself by participating in what we have as a community. And also, when you choose to follow our social platforms, it's easy for you to understand the trends and also the happenings with Faces of Projects, because as Mr. Debowale said, this is an initiation webinar where we try to educate, we try to inform everyone what we are about. And in what we are about, we also integrated the community in terms of being performance in delivery, what we want to get to in terms of project management in Nigeria. Because in Nigeria, we want to be a template for every research institution or even any professional needs to follow, because our archiving has to be very critical in terms of the evaluation done by the community participants, because the community participants, we believe, are professionals and also potentials. And in doing that, you're definitely going to learn how you can, evaluate issues also subscriptions in terms of recommendations that we can actually document as lesson learned or white paper for any other engagement. And moving forward, as time goes on, the initiative will have series of leaders that are already documented, of which in different specialized areas, we will have our practitioners that are already in the community come to discuss and analyze on recorded sessions such as that. And in that time, we can also make recommendations and also record those form of sections, because we have our medium-term plan, and our short-term plan. Our short-term plan is basically for us to continue to engage, for us to identify project leaders, and for us to be able to see how successful we can advocate rights for project management in Nigeria. However, after that particular stage, we are looking forward to seeing how we can amplify our community members. How can you benefit from this platform? Your contribution, your participation also says a lot about that. Your participation allows us to know your technical abilities for you to be able to deliver on certain projects. And also, this can actually lead to other recommendations that can actually be derived from our engagement or our interactions with project leaders. Remember, this platform is trying to spotlight people that have been successful in one sense. The stakeholders we are looking at are stakeholders that belong to the managerial cadre that actually can help us, understand how their companies, how their institutions have been seen successful. And when they come to realize that there are pool of professionals, I'm sure that other form of interaction can naturally occur. So we want to encourage everyone to put in their thinking cap, for them to be rational enough to help us to amplify what we have going on here, because we know that these are our first engagements. In future time, I believe that the numbers will increase, and by so doing, we expect our subscription pages, especially the YouTube channels, to be followed, because we already have series of appointments, but in future time, we'll definitely see how we make the community a first point of interaction, reactions, and all that. We need your advices, we need your inputs, we need your recommendations for us to become better. Project management is not for multi-projectors alone. It's not for faces of project alone. It's also for every one of us. And the more we adopt this particular practice or this particular initiative, the better we can become the best ambassadors for project management. And in turn, I'm sure that rewards will definitely come. So, Mr. MD, do you have any insights?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Bash. And you just gave the whole, you just spilled the whole tea, and I really have little to say. And once again, I would like to appreciate every one of you that joined this webinar. It really means a lot. It means billions of dollars, and we are so grateful. Like I always say, I'm always grateful to every one of you, to everybody in the community. So you can redrop the community link. You can also join, and to also stay tuned to every phases of projects updates and all of that. Our social media is open. Our social media for YouTube, our social media for Instagram, and all of that. We all have that at Faces of Projects, all together. So, and it feels so great having you. And I would like to just leave the floor to the moderator. Moderator, you can have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, can we give a big round of applause to Dr. Bashir and Dr. Lucas for that? as we approach to the close of today's session, we also look ahead. Faces of Project is envisioned as an evolving platform for continued webinar, as said by Dr. Bash, podcast storytelling, leadership documentation, institutional partnership, professional community building, and we warmly invite professionals, organizations, and partners to join us in shaping this important movement. Just like Dr. Lucas has mentioned, I also encourage us to kindly use the link shared on the chat box to join our WhatsApp platform so as to stay informed on our subsequent activities and see how we can collaboratively change the faces of projects in Nigeria as whole. So as we conclude today's webinar, I would like to express sincere appreciation to Chief Olabode Ofalayan for honoring us with his presence and also the opening remark, our distinguished keynote speaker, Architect Shomi Williams, also our visionary founders, Dr. Adewale Lucas, Dr. Oyetunji Adewale Bashir, and Dr. Blessing Oshoki. Thank you so much, guys, for coming up with such a platform. Thank you for having Nigerians project managers at heart and also finding this platform for us to come and learn and also document all that we've been doing. And also to our real MVPs, that's the participant who joined from the beginning to end. We highly appreciate you guys for expressing your interest to be here and also for sticking with us from the beginning to the end of this webinar. And just to inform you that we'll be having this webinar bi-weeklies. So that's 2 times in a month. We actually crave for your indulgence, for your time, patience to ensure that we actually achieve what we want. It's not easy, starting something like this might be kind of blurry at the inception, but with patience and time, we indulge that you give us the time to prove ourselves and what we intend to achieve with this platform. So far today's conversation reminds us that behind every impactful project, there are people, leadership, choices, difficult decisions, and also lesson worth preserving. That is the heart of Faces of Projects. On behalf of Motil Projectors Limited, thank you so much for your time, your presence, and your engagement. And we look forward to continuing this project with this journey with you. From my end, have a beautiful day. But before we end, we are supposed to, put on our cameras and have a group picture, and then we can go about our day. Thank you so much all for joining, and please can we have all our cameras on? Thank you, Dr. Bash, for that clap. I think you're the only one clapping for me. Thank you. We can't hear you, Dr. Lucas. Your mic is off, I think.
Yeah, I said I'll do the same. Sorry about that. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
So can we all have our thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Okay. I think we just had a group picture. The moderator, you can just take it up when you're ready.
Now let's have our cameras on. I think we should have informed earlier. So
we have a camera here.
So people could actually, get ready for the, camera section.
Okay, Victor, Nora, Aisha, please can we have our cameras on?
Thank you.
Okay. I think we have sufficient number, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are we good, Dr. Lucas?
Yeah, we're good. Let's go ahead, please.
Okay, I thought you're doing that from your end.
Okay, let me do that. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. We just had a good picture. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Let's all have a beautiful day ahead till we see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Akpeshomi. Thanks so much. We appreciate you. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
All right, I'm going to end the call now. So I'll say bye-bye, everybody, and we appreciate you. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.